So you just watched Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max. You know all the sequels and follow-ups are no longer happening as originally planned. But you want to know what was supposed to happen. Well, you're not alone and you're in luck, because we're going to break down every sequel and spin-off that was set up in this Justice League movie and what the plan was for those films. We're going to cover everything we know about Justice League 2 and 3, which have some wild plot twists you're not going to believe, and the details we have on the solo movies for Batfleck, The Flash, and Cyborg.
I think there's an attack coming.
Not coming, Bruce. It's already here.
Let's start with what was supposed to happen in the next 2 installments of Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy. The Snyder Cut ends on an open note, a cliffhanger promising a coming war between the armies of Apokalips and the heroes of Earth. And before you ask, no, there are no current plans for this story to ever be finished. In an interview with the New York Times, Zack Snyder said Warner Brothers is 100% moving away from the Snyderverse going forward. As for what we've been told about the plot of Justice League 2, Snyder said the story would see the Knightmare world become a reality, as first teased in Batman v Superman. Snyder said to the Times, quote, "It's the fall of Earth, when Superman succumbs to anti-life, and then sending Flash back in time to change one element so that doesn't happen, and then the big battle where we beat him." That bit about the Flash is of key importance. We know from the conversation between Batman and Joker in the Snyder Cut epilogue that Darkseid's takeover of Earth is tied directly to the death of Lois Lane.
You need me to help you undo this world you created by letting her die.
That connects back to the moment in BVS where Batman glimpses the Flash in a dream.
It's Lois! It's Lois Lane! She's the key!
What happened to Lois and how it leads to Superman falling victim to the anti-life equation appears to have been the key story thread of Justice League 2. Oh, and in case you were wondering, the anti-life equation is explained in the comics as this all-powerful math equation that can grant control over all life in the universe. It's kind of like Darkseid's Infinity Gauntlet, but with less glowing rocks and more long division. Anyway, Snyder told Vanity Fair that in the Justice League sequels, when Darkseid arrived on Earth, Superman would have asked Batman to guard Lois. Lex Luthor, meanwhile, would team up with Darkseid and tell him the key to Superman's weaknesses is killing Lois Lane. Batman would eventually fail in protecting Lois, leading to Superman falling under the thrall of Darkseid, as we glimpsed in Cyborg's vision of the future. And as we also saw there, Wonder Woman and Aquaman would die in the ensuing battle for Earth. That would lead the now evil Superman to devote himself to taking revenge on Batman for Lois's death. One thing that is not made clear by the Snyder Cut epilogue is where that scene lands in the Knightmare timeline, but we have a guess. Given how we see the Joker hand Batman a Joker card, and that card is seen strapped to Batman's gun in the BVS Knightmare scene, we are led to believe it takes place sometime before then. A few more details about the Justice League sequels were dropped by Kevin Smith, who's always in the know on DC matters. In 2019, he said the League would have taken the fight to Darkseid on Apokalips, leading to an Infinity War-like ending that would set the stage for the climactic third installment. The Justice League sequels would have introduced even more fan-favorite DC characters, like the Green Lantern Corps. They're only briefly featured in the Snyder Cut, 2 times where they both die, and Snyder said a member was going to appear in the final Stinger scene before it was switched to Martian Manhunter. But Smith says the GLC were finally going to be brought in for the cosmic throwdown to decide the fate of the universe. Speaking of Martian Manhunter, he's another character we were going to see more of, as he reveals himself to Bruce Wayne and tells him he wants to team up to cancel the apocalypse.
I'm sure you know Darkseid is not finished with Earth. The anti-life equation is here somewhere. We have to find it before he does. There's a war coming, and I'm here to help.
That war he mentions would likely have included not just Darkseid, but a host of other characters familiar to readers of the Fourth World Saga that was created by Jack Kirby for DC. Snyder said in an interview with YouTube personality Wonder Meg that his third Justice League film would be a New Gods invasion movie.
Well, let me mount an army. While Darkseid is under siege, we will attack.
As for how the trilogy wraps up in the end, we mostly only know about the fate of Batman, as well as Superman and Lois and their baby. What? That's right, a pregnancy test can be spotted in Lois Lane's bedside drawer, meaning that when she died, Superman not only lost his one true love, but their child too. So, in the final film, the Flash goes back to the proper moment this time to warn Bruce about the future, and then things play out differently, as Batman ultimately sacrifices himself to save Lois and her unborn child, preventing Superman from turning evil and saving the world. Yay. And Zack Snyder told Vanity Fair that the third film's epilogue would have jumped 20 years in the future, where Superman and Lois have raised their baby boy, and he would become the new Batman. But that may never come, so let's talk about the present Batman instead and what was in store for him. The epilogue of the Snyder Cut features a scene where Lex Luthor gives Deathstroke the key intel.
His name is Bruce Wayne.
This was seemingly a setup for a central storyline of Ben Affleck's since abandoned Batman solo movie. According to Deathstroke actor Joe Manganiello, that film would have seen the mercenary out to destroy both sides of the Caped Crusader's life, Batman and Bruce Wayne, for his own personal reasons. It's anyone's guess how that film would have played out, but it is possible in the end that Batman actually recruits Deathstroke as an ally, because in a surprise twist, we see a mohawk-rockin' Slade Wilson fighting alongside Batman in the Knightmare future. And while that scene also features iconic Batman baddie, the Joker, Snyder said he was just included because he wanted to give Jared Leto and Ben Affleck the chance to finally have their versions of these iconic characters share a scene together. And as far as we know, the Joker was not lined up to appear in the Batfleck movie. But while that thread currently leads to nowhere, it's possible the Knightmare future could be resolved in a different DC movie that is actually still scheduled to come out. Unlike those other canceled movies, the Flash solo film starring Ezra Miller is still in the works and in fact is due out in 2022. What little we know about the plot says it's inspired by the Flashpoint comic where Barry Allen unwittingly creates an alternate reality, and reportedly, Michael Keaton is returning as Batman to serve as Barry's mentor figure in a Nick Fury kind of role. Also said to be returning is Ben Affleck. Into the Batverse, anyone? So, the Snyder Cut does set up a Flash sequel, if not necessarily this Flash sequel. There's been quite a bit of upheaval behind the scenes, with a variety of creative teams coming and going since it was first announced. But Snyder definitely sets up elements of whatever the plan was for Barry when his version of Justice League was in production. Actress Kiersey Clemons plays Iris West, and she signed on to return in the solo film, although Billy Crudup will not be reprising his role as Barry's father. But hey, maybe while the Flash is messing around with the timeline, he'll change things so drastically that the Knightmare future will never come to pass. Of course, he'll probably cause something worse to happen instead, like a Gorilla City invasion.
Kill Solovar, and Central City will be spared. Fail, and see your home turn to ash.
But we'll cross that bridge at super speed when we come to it. Those are all the flashbacks we know, so now let's lock our sensors on his new friend and fellow Justice League member, Cyborg. Originally, Ray Fisher's Cyborg was expected to return not only in the Flash film in a supporting role, but also for his own solo film. Unfortunately, Fisher's very public battle with Warner Brothers has reportedly led to him no longer appearing in The Flash, and his solo film has long since disappeared from Warner Brothers' schedule. there's been no word on whether Cyborg has a future of any kind in the DCEU. So for now, fans are at least left with a much stronger and substantial arc for the hero in the Snyder Cut.
I'm not broken. And I'm not alone.
In the end, even though Zack Snyder's Justice League sets up numerous other DC films, as things currently stand, we're not going to see them as originally intended, if at all. In a way, the Snyder Cut is a snapshot of what the DCEU had in store for us in 2017, but a lot has changed since then, so we're ultimately left with just a glimpse at what could have been. What are your thoughts on all these would-be sequels? Do you think any of them have a chance of actually being made one day? Let us know which one you want to see the most in the comments. Thanks for watching. For more on Justice League, check out our video breaking down all the differences between the Snyder Cut and the Whedon Cut, and a breakdown of how the Darkseid flashback battle was recreated by the talented artists at Weta Digital. And be sure to keep it locked to IGN.